Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, intuitive astrologer, Reiki master, and empowerment coach. And I'm here today to talk about Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn. This is the second to the last retrograde that Pluto will have in Capricorn. The last one will be actually in 2023. But I think this is extremely significant and transformational and really a fork in the road for many of us in our lives. But before I start to talk about that, I just want to do a little bit of business. I'm a whole sign Western astrologer, so all the videos on my channel are based on whole sign Western astrology. I'm also on the 30th of April doing my first webinar on the North and South Node through the signs. This is part of a 5 webinar series that will focus in on the soul's intention for this lifetime, bringing in the dynamics of the nodes, the rulers of the nodes, where the planets are within relation to the nodes. And then we're going to also bring in Chiron and what the degrees mean. And that's why we're going to do it in pieces, so we can create the puzzle pieces and then put them together. And I think that this is going to be really exciting. I'm personally very excited about doing it. It's my little formula process, what I've learned, how I've assimilated it, and how I have discovered within my own chart the significance of these points and how they work together to tell a story. So if you'd like to sign up, before the 24th of April, it's $19.99. If you sign up between the 25th and the 29th, the day that Pluto goes retrograde, it will be $29.99. And that will be the last day to sign up. If you can't make it during that time, you can purchase a link to the webinar for $29.99 subsequently or after the day of the event. My information is below. You can just email me at info@terihunter.com. That's TERIHUNTER.com, and sign up with me directly. This is my first webinar, so I'm kind of doing this old school. You don't need to fill out a form or do anything. Just send me a link and I will send you the information from there. Okay, so now let's go into Pluto's retrograde. What I want to say also is that in the solar eclipse video, I actually address what house Pluto retrograde is going to be based on your rising sign. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that video, this will give you even more specific information as to the focus of what this retrograde is going to reveal and bring up for you. So let's go back. This Pluto is the planet that rules the unseen. It rules the things that happen in the bedroom. It rules sex. It rules other people's money, death, taxes, financial stockbrokers, investment bankers, detectives and criminals. It rules pornography. It rules gambling. It rules psychology in many ways. And it also rules the occult. To me, the sign of Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, is where the soul meets itself in relation to all the other dynamics that the human structure has superimposed upon it. Pluto can be extremely shady in some respects. Like if you're challenged by Pluto, you could not want to expose to others the truth of who you are because you think it's too dark, or it doesn't align to how they have perceived you and what they have superseded or superimposed upon you and who you are. And so this is a really transformational planet. Scorpio by nature is a transformational house because it puts a spotlight on where you have given up your power to others or where you're showing dominion or dominance over others. And it can be through any of these dynamics. It could be through sex. It could be through you have the money and other people don't, or your children, have to listen to you because they're waiting for their inheritance. And it's a very psychological sign and planet. So now we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn, the sign of structure, the sign of old things, old traditions. Father time is Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn. And we're at these degrees that are, for me, where the soul is being required to look at mastering these dynamics, to really not play a game of naivete anymore. You've been in this sign, you've been in this house, you've been experiencing this dynamic, and now it's time to really lift the rug. You know, are you a victim of your addictions, or do your addictions distract you from who you really can be and who you want to be? And that addiction can be to bad relationships. It can be to illusion on some level. You know, I can't be powerful in my life because these things are happening out here. And if those people or those dynamics are disrupted, I will be in jeopardy. It's a very, very, you know, I want to use, it's a mind. I'd use a bad word there, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use the word meld, but I think it's bigger than that. So here we see compulsions and we see obsessions, and we also see billionaires. We see lives transform in ways that if we are willing to get real with ourselves, if we are willing to be brave, Mars is the co-ruler of Scorpio and thereby works in some relationship with Pluto. And so the dynamics of Mars come into play here. Am I willing to be courageous? Am I willing to be brave? Am I willing to be pioneering? Am I willing to go to the deepest truth? Because if indeed you're willing to do that, then you can experience a transformation that you can't even begin to imagine. And this particular retrograde has some lovely aspects that's going to be taking place during it. So it's going to, there's supportive aspects for the transformation to the higher vibrations of what Pluto has to offer. I became fascinated with Pluto because as I started to study astrology, I realized that Pluto has been transiting my natal chart my whole life, hitting my personal planets like Venus and the Sun and Mars and Mercury. These are all things that represent my personal everyday experience. They're not like the outer planets of Uranus and Neptune, which, you know, have these generational influences as well. So I started to realize that as a soul, I must have come into this lifetime seeking a master class of transformation. And the main thing that I think this is about are what are the lies I'm telling myself? Where am I contributing to my own disempowerment? And I've seen that as a theme where I start off getting excited about something and I want to endeavor it. And then I feel like I need to go somewhere where somebody's better at it than me, or somebody has, you know, more influence in the dynamic. And I hold myself small. And I think that's one of the things that has been a theme in my life, is always holding myself small. Even when good things were coming to me, I would want to diminish them so that I wouldn't have to worry about losing them or not being as good as other people may have initially perceived me to be. So here we go. Let's talk about some of the positive aspects that are going to be happening, or that are going to contribute to your transformation. And again, your bravery, your courage to step into your truth and willing to own where you've hold yourself small, where you've told yourself stories that don't apply anymore, or dynamics that you don't win. That needs to be blown up. And that's what Pluto is going to do. So our first aspect is going to be where Pluto makes a sextile. This is a pleasant conversation between the planets. And this is going to take place between May 1st and May 5th, exactly at 28 degrees. Now they'll be having a pleasant conversation for longer than that, because Pluto is a slow moving planet and Jupiter, it moves medium paced. So we'll see this conversation take place for a little bit longer than that, but the exact degree of this conversation where they're talking the most clearly to one another is in this period of time of May 1st to the 5th. This is an opportunity to transform your beliefs when it comes to your wealth, when it comes to your spiritual beliefs and foundations. This is an opportunity to bring in teachers and mentors and to experience foreign things, foreign ideas, foreign concepts that support your expansion and the expansion in the material world. You know, you could find yourself becoming a more charismatic leader and willing to step up into your own highest vibration. Jupiter is about wealth and expansion and pleasant. You know, people ruled by Jupiter are usually very pleasant, easygoing, fun people. Because they rule foreign travel, they're open to diversity and different ways of thinking. So there's not that rigidity that you might see with some of the other signs. And this Pluto retrograde gives you an opportunity to really step into that vibration. But when you hit that fork in the road and Spirit is offering you the unknown opportunity for expansion, you're going to have to be brave enough to take it instead of falling back to what your eyes can see and what appears to be safe, because it may not be as safe as you think it is. Our next aspect is Pluto making a sextile to Venus on May 1st. So we have on May 1st, Jupiter also making a sextile. Jupiter will make that sextile a little bit longer and Venus will move off the exact point, but at 28 degrees. And so what Venus also rules is money. Jupiter rules wealth. Venus rules self-confidence and material possessions and beauty and art and my singing voice and my skills. This is a real opportunity to change your life by putting a bomb in the old structure of your wallet and what you can see as security, and thinking your skills, your talents, your ability to step out and see yourself as a co-creator in your life, and in doing so, becoming immensely abundant shifts your beliefs, which then kick into action the laws of attraction. And I believe this is the true ascension as we go into the Aquarian age, is to realize that our focal point, and even babies, if you believe that the soul continues on, then a baby has a point of attraction when it is born. So all souls are kind of coming together to really offer themselves opportunities to see themselves experience things that in past incarnations were only conceptual. They were only things that we had hoped to experience. And because of the heavy structure of outside of survival, of religious beliefs, of dominance through war and conquering of other lands, we really were not able to experience. So this is really fabulous. It is also Venus sextile Pluto gives us an opportunity to really see about how we're showing up in our intimate relationships. How we are we really setting things up to be long lasting and enduring and authentic? Because there is a possibility during this Pluto sextile Venus that affairs that are slightly shady in the dark, that are secretive in nature, could start. And I think that this is really, if you find yourself at that fork in the road, you have to decide if that's going to really serve your long-term happiness. Because if you're someone like Katharine Hepburn, who loved Spencer Tracy and didn't really need a full-time partner, that might be perfectly fine for you. And I'm not judging it one way or the other. Again, this is about your happiness. And this is what Pluto wants for you, as well as Venus. Okay, our final aspect happening during this Pluto retrograde is Mercury, the planet of communications, everyday activities, our workmates, teammates, our siblings. I mean, Mercury rules so many things in the zodiac. I think it rules almost something in every house of the zodiac. But it is going to be retrograde, making a harmonious aspect between May 25th and May 26th to Pluto. there's going to be two dynamics. When it makes this aspect, it's going to be a review of some kind. With Pluto retrograde and Mercury retrograde, there's going to be a review, a revisit. There could very well be a revisiting of an old relationship that had dominance over you in a psychological way, or somebody that you felt addicted to sexually. But it can also bring information about siblings, or if you've had an estrangement within a sibling, it could bring that back. Mercury will go direct, and they will meet. The direct moving Mercury will also meet retrograde Pluto in June. So I feel like this month is going to be very transformational in the way you're thinking, the way you're speaking. Do you want to be heard, or do you just want to vent? Pluto can blow things up, can have a big meltdown and just detonate things. But there's going to be a strong energy of revisiting your relationships, your friends, your networks, your social media, how you're thinking about how you spend your everyday life. And it's going to kind of be a defining moment for you as to, are you kind of living that monkey mind? This is a little bit about Mercury, is that it rules our everyday activities. So when we have a lot of people that we're obligated to, I got to pick up the kids, I got to get the groceries, I got to pay the bills, I got to make sure the toilet's clean, I got to make sure the bed, blah, 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 blah. And that can get us caught up where we're not actually present in our lives. We're on a hamster wheel of expectations. And these aren't usually our own expectations, they're the expectations of others. So this dynamic between Pluto is supporting this revisit. And I believe you may even find that the people in your life are supporting the transformation as well. That where before you thought you would get resistance, or people would be very upset with you, you may find it's just the opposite. And this again will take place. The retrograde planets, Pluto and Mercury, will be in favorable aspect on the 25th and 26th of May. And I think that's going to kind of kick in this 2-week period. So by the time Mercury starts to go forward again, we might see the implementation of what was revisited there in May. Okay, so again, and I want to remind you, I did address the Pluto retrograde in the solar eclipse video. I did 3 aspects and I went through each one of the houses, so you may want to look there. Because I think if you add this video and that video, you may really get some strong detail on how this is going to affect you. By the time Pluto goes into Aquarius, nobody's going to be the same. All of us are going to be living transformational lives. And I mean that in a way that I think is very high vibrational. I think that those of us that are brave enough to look at where we're getting in our own way will stop doing it. And if we do continue to do it, we will actually extract tools and carve out a new path. So I hope you will be brave during this time. I hope you will not judge yourself or feel shame or regret, but understand that this is all part of the illumination that Pluto has to offer. It's not about one big swallowing of transformation, but little bites that help us to really assimilate and absorb everything that's going on. So again, my name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, intuitive astrologer, Reiki master, and empowerment coach. If you'd like to book a reading with me or have a session with me, my information is below. And I hope you'll take advantage of the webinar coming up on April 30th, that's Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. I have information on my YouTube page and under the community. And I did a brief video that you can see about what we're going to talk about. So I'm excited about that. I'll be back soon, maybe sooner than I think, with another video. I look forward to hearing from you. Please comment, please share, please hit that notification bell, and please have a great life. That's what I'm here to help you have a great life. Bye, everybody. Peace out.